We have some news to get to here on Philadelphia 76ers Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. DeAndre Jordan was just waived by the Los Angeles Lakers, and according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, the Sixers are going to be aggressive in their pursuits of DJ, and they could be closing in on signing him prior to the deadline for NBA buyouts tomorrow. This coming from Woj on Twitter. He said this, and we'll get to the salary cap implications as well from Bobby Marks of ESPN. The 76ers have been in the market for a backup center and will be aggressive in their pursuit of DeAndre Jordan, either placing a waiver claim or working to sign him as a free agent should he clear waivers, sources tell ESPN. Now, we know the Sixers are in the luxury tax. They're paying big money to James Harden, Joel Embiid, as well as Tobias Harris. So there are some salary cap implications that come along with signing DeAndre Jordan, who is really up and down with the Los Angeles Lakers, and his best days are behind him, but as a backup center could be somewhat serviceable as compared to some of the other options on this roster after trading away Andre Drummond. Bobby Marks said this: Philadelphia currently has a $13.19 million tax bill. Below are the tax ramifications of claiming his $1.6 million cap hit versus waiting and signing him to a prorated veteran minimum. The waiver claim would be a figure of $16.1 million, vet min at $13.8 million. It's about a $2.3 million difference as compared to if they sign him right away or if they decide to wait. We're going to continue to break down this potential signing of DeAndre Jordan, but first, I want to hear from the city of brotherly love, the city that I call home. What is your level of interest in DeAndre Jordan? Let me know in the comment section and scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 being not interested at all, 10 being I'm all in, as him being the backup center for Joel Embiid. Make sure you chime in into the comment section right now. And while you're down there, you see that red button that says subscribe? Make sure you hit that so that you can stay in the know with all things Sixers all throughout the year and all throughout the offseason. We're cooking up the latest Sixers news, Sixers rumors. When free agency happens, we push out videos faster than everybody else. We give you NBA draft profiles as well. Over the last month, 1,200 people have subscribed to Sixers Now. We launched the channel back over the summer. Let's continue to grow, and let's get to 5,000 subs as soon as possible. You take a look at what DeAndre Jordan was able to do with the Los Angeles Lakers this year, and when he was with the Clippers, my goodness, he was a human highlight reel, throwing down those dunks off the pick and roll, taking the feeds from Chris Paul. Really was a phenomenal player, but that was many years ago. He's not that at this point of his career. Now, he can still give you something from a shot blocking and rim protection standpoint. He can serve as a big who hovers around the rim for some put-back dunks as well as some putbacks, but he is not going to shoot the basketball beyond a couple of feet. He is an awful free throw shooter, so late in games, he's very much a liability there. And this year really wasn't all that great for LA. Less than 13 minutes per game, 4 points, 5.5 rebounds, and he's always going to be very efficient connecting from field goals, 67% in that area. And when you take a look at the Sixers' big men currently on the roster, they're a little bit thin there after the trade of Andre Drummond. Joel Embiid, the front runner for NBA MVP, he has been on fire playing alongside James Harden, averaging 35 points per game over the last 2 since the Beard made his arrival. But then you look at Paul Reed, Charles Bassey, 2 young and inexperienced players. How much can they help you over the course of a playoff series as compared to a player like DeAndre Jordan? Now, Willie Cauley-Stein, we covered it here on the channel last week, signed a 10-day contract. If you bring in DeAndre Jordan, does that mean that Willie Cauley-Stein is then going to be waived? I think that is a possibility for Doc Rivers as well as Daryl Morey to open up a roster spot for DeAndre Jordan, because I think he gives you a little bit more than Willie Cauley-Stein would at this point of his career. When I watch DJ this year, yeah, he's kind of washed, but the more that I've thought about this as I'm doing this show, getting ready for this show in a very quick manner, James Harden is a pick-and-roll assassin. And he has really thrived and flourished with bigs who were able to set the screen, roll to the cup, and James Harden's passing ability coming off of that type of set is really, really elite. So by bringing in DeAndre Jordan, it gives James Harden another lob threat when Joel Embiid is not on the floor. And one of the surprising developments we've seen from Embiid playing with Harden so far in those 2 games, he's never been asked to be that roller to throw down alley-oops and take some of the feeds off the pick and roll from point guards. He's been doing it with Harden because that's Harden's bread and butter. So maybe the idea in bringing in DeAndre Jordan, you have that type of center to basically play that Clint Capella role that Harden played so well with when he was with Houston. My next question for the audience: do you want the Sixers to sign DeAndre Jordan? Another opportunity for you to be honest, to sound off in the comment section, to be as much a part of the show as I am as the host and Sam Brown is as the producer. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Once again, chime into the comment section right now. As for what Harden has been able to do the last 2 games, first 2 games in a Philadelphia 76ers uniform, he's been great. And I think he's exceeded all expectations. And it's become obvious that the Sixers are taking Ryan Howard swings for the fences, trying to chase an NBA championship. And DeAndre Jordan could be the latest acquisition and addition to this roster in order to not have a Greg Monroe type of player throughout the course of a playoff series and have somebody a little bit better like DeAndre Jordan. 27 points and 29 in his first 2 games against the T-Wolves as well as the New York Knicks. Against the Knicks at MSG, a historic performance, 29, 10, and 16 with 5 steals, and he's brought the best out of Embiid as well as Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, folks, Philadelphia's son, Philadelphia's young king, connecting on 66.7% of his field goals and 62.5% of his three-point attempts. That has been the James Harden effect so far because he provides floor spacing as a 3-level scorer who can get to the 10 but also hit those step backs as well. So Tyrese Maxey has really found a way to succeed as an off-ball type of 2-guard and combo guard, and then when James Harden goes to the bench, he could play the point guard role. And then Joel Embiid has had some of the easiest shot-making opportunities and chances with Harden on the floor with that 2-man game. Yes, he's gone to the cup on some of those pick and rolls, but he's also pick and popped, able to knock down some of those mid-range jumpers, and then when he's kind of hovering around that 3-point perimeter with Harden on the floor, getting a lot of open opportunities there as well. That has been the direct impact that James Harden has brought to the basketball floor for Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey, and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers right now, after making that trade for James Harden, sending Ben Simmons packing, they're gunning for an NBA championship, and they're being aggressive in the process. And this has really been the DNA of Daryl Morey. Ever since he became an NBA executive with the Houston Rockets, now with the Sixers. He wants a Larry O.B. for the first time since the 80s for the city of Philadelphia, and we as fans, we want it as well. So if DJ helps those chances, then let's do it. Once again, make sure you subscribe to the channel for the most informative and entertaining Sixers coverage right here on YouTube. Launched the channel over the summer as a Philadelphia homie. It's been awesome to see it grow like this. We're only getting started. More subscribers equals more videos, so hit that red subscribe button or in a separate browser, go to youtube.com/76erstv. Thanks so much for watching today's show, and make sure you join the party because we're cooking up the latest Sixers news and rumors.